Just so I don't have to suffer the consequences of my actions, my lawyer has advised me to tell you not to recreate the blasphemy I have created here, just for your own sake. Actually, fuck it. Go for it. Before we start, I just wanted to say come join my coaching Discord server, link in the description. As you may or may not already know, I'm pretty unhinged, though let's be honest, I'm not the only one. There have been a lot more of those before me, and we've all seen them at one point or another. The thing is, some of them just played for fun, just because they loved torturing people in game, of course. And others? Those psychos went really deep into their delusional craft, and ended up breaking the meta. Even nowadays we have people going for a different approach, main example being baboos who have created unhinged, and well, people did not like that at all. Also there are sadists with very unique picks, but we barely know why they play something so head-ill, and if they just love suffering. I am those people. And to answer, yes, I do love suffering. I do play Callista after all. I also love creating chaos, so my speciality are the type of picks that make you question if Geneva Convention is not too lenient. But how did it start, you ask? Okay, I know no one asked, but I don't care. This is my video and you will listen to me because I say so. So one day, after a long lost streak in solo queue, I decided to take a break from ranks. Or more like I wanted to stop trying while my addiction forced me to queue up for those sweet LP yet again. And when it was time for me to pick, I saw it. I saw the pick that I wanted to first time in ranks, just because I can. To say the least, my duo was not very happy with my choice, so he went for his own ADC pick. We ended up having a lot more fun than we thought, and that's where my unhinged side started to grow. And so today is the day for this thing right here. Draven is one of those champions nobody likes to play with or against, because people who choose to lock him in clearly have heavy mental issues. And so the day has come to turn this cringer into being submissive and breedable. So the first thing you have to know are runes. When it comes to that, there are quite a few options. First one being glacial, because of course nothing says support more than this rune. Good into most matchups, especially the more aggressive ones like Callista and Ashe. Helps to reduce the damage, and it's also really good for level 1 cheese with E-start. The only time it's bad on the lane is against very mobile ADCs, like Ezreal and Spyro. But since it scales well throughout the entire game, it's still a valid choice. But if you are very insecure about it, your other option is Aftershock. Strong into heavy engage comps, and when your team has absolutely no idea how to fucking draft despite being in top 1% player base. It also helps you if you can't play like a psycho and dodge everything thrown at you. Next on the list are Guardian and Fleet. These two are a bit more situational. You mainly go for them against high-range poke champions like those two. Guardian is more for helping your ADC out, while Fleet is when you want to play more aggressive and have no regards about life of others. The main advantage of Fleet over Guardian is that you can heal yourself up on jungle camps, and you can also use movement speed to get a better engage. And the last one, Predator. Oh wait, wrong pick. This is the funny one, and no, you do not go Mobies with Terror in this scenario. I mean you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's mainly chosen when you know your lane is going to be more on the AFK side, because your ADC is mad from your pick and went mage. Or if enemy bot lane decided to choose the most insecure picks in the entire game. Then you just pick it, rush boots, and just roam whenever it's up and down. Just fucking roam 24/7 and ignore the bot unless your jungler goes for the Drake. Okay, now that you know how to run around the map, you are probably asking yourself what the fuck to buy, thinking you'll go the normal Draven build. Well, you couldn't be more wrong. I mean, you are probably silver, so I guess that's still possible, but you get my point. But to be fair, the first choice is very obvious. But let's start with the support item, Blood Song. Core item. On-hit even Shroud is a one thing I was not expecting in this season, and yet here we are. With how much ADHD spamming Draven can do, it's disgustingly strong on him. You can literally perma-proc it on enemies, giving you and your team insane amounts of damage. Okay, when it comes to first actual item, you were probably not far off, no matter who you are. Sundered Sky. When you are running into enemies like a psycho, you are bound to lose some HP, and this funny item being rushed gives you free lane. Like, look at it, this is straight up disgusting. And this is the only DPS item you will be buying, so deal with that. Now for the actual support items, Knight's Vow. We can't call ourselves support without buying any support item, and Knight's Vow is broken on any champ. Honestly, if you play any role and fall behind, just drop your useless ego and buy it for your carry. And since we're already in the topic of being submissive and breedable, time for my favorite item, Redemption. The most I am support item to ever exist. Right after Ardent Cancer, that is. That's why you want to buy it most games, so you can heal your teammates like a good little support, and so they can die regardless like stupid animals because they don't know not to go in 2v5. Okay, let's be honest, even support sometimes need survivability. For that we have few options, main one being Recurn. So Riot is a bit head ill in game of course, so I don't think I have to tell you why this item is just plain broken. And just in case if some of you have brain of an actual Draven player, here is a TLDR, shield good. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Our next option not to die so easily is Anathema. And I swear to God if I have to repeat one more time that Anathema is more underrated than Zero Sugar Monsters, I'm gonna do absolutely nothing. Because I'm totally not followed by FBI agents. You are followed by FBI agents. I don't know what you are talking about. If enemy has only 1 AP or 1 AD, it's always worth buying. Not only are you going to give enemies candy. Actually no, that's it. You'll just give them Terminus IRL in-game. Okay, I may or may not have lied about Sundered Sky being the only damage item, but it was just so you don't get your hopes up. Black Cleaver. High HP, synergizes well with other support items, and gives your team more damage against tanks. Pretty straightforward item. The only thing you should keep in mind is who to focus in team fights, because Black Cleaver helps your team to kill enemy frontline, so if you have someone else to deal with squishies, you might as well help others instead. Serpent's Fang. Okay, I know it's an actual Draven domain, but I think everyone deep inside despises enchanters. They are simply disgusting. So this is one of the few exceptions when you can let out your inner Draven and buy Serpent's Fang and put those players in their place. Next one is Umbral Glaive. If enemies don't have any front, you might as well get it for some map control and more free Q stacks. It's just a matter of if you need more damage in your team or not. Because if not, you better know your place and buy that Redemption. Mortal Reminder and Chempunk. There are moments in the life of support when you have to use your hard-earned gold for a heal cut, just because you are a fucking support and that's your fucking job. Get Mortal if you need to deal more damage for your team, and Chempunk if you need HP and cooldowns instead. I know it's a very cool story, but you're probably wondering how the fuck to play it, since this pick makes absolutely no sense. So here is the deal. You know all that Ashe and Caitlyn support meta? Yeah, that's basically how you play Draven as well. Except that you are way more annoying just because you have built-in BF sword in your kit and have funny movement speed ability. You just want to become that one annoying fly that refuses to leave the room and just exists there with its only purpose being to drive you insane. And when it comes to mid and late game, it's a lot simpler because it's normal support stuff, like warding objectives, peeling your team,
double kill,
and not dying alone in the enemy jungle when your team is spam pinging you to go for sneaky Elder Dragon as a last resort to save the game. You know, brain dead stuff. But let's be real for a second, Draven's kit is surprisingly good from a support point of view, you just need to be fairly good at using it. Your Q allows you to deal damage, W gives you mobility to catch up to enemies, or just bait enemy engage out, like Thresh Hook or Ashe ult. And on top of that your E allows you to both engage and disengage, which if you asked me, is pretty fucking good. And let's not forget about his ult. You usually don't get kills, but you are constantly stacking the passive, and that allows you to execute enemies. It also allows you to cross-map a lot more, helping 2 lanes at once. When it comes to the cons, there are quite a few of those. I know crazy concept Draven support has some issues, who would have guessed? Okay, but it's honestly not that bad. The main issue is your team. You know, the usual. But yeah, they will not like it when you do hover him. You literally have to force yourself to be friendly and assure them you are not Disco Draven, just so they don't dodge or ban your champ. And yes, second biggest issue is his ban rate. I legit regret giving him as an option because I had to spend so much time just to play him. Okay, no, I don't regret it, it was fun, and it will also let me spread the cans. Now you're probably asking yourself, when would you pick Draven, or why would you even do it in the first place? Well, apart from the fact that it just would be very funny, there are some hidden features of this pick. First one being dodges. And I don't mean your physical ability to dodge skill shots, though it also improves a lot. I meant champ select dodges. If you don't like your draft, just pick Ghost plus Cleanse as if you were to run it down. Most of the time someone will leave, and even if they don't, you can just swap it back to normal sums at the last second. Was worth giving a try. Another great thing about DRAVEN support is the mental war against enemies. Like, imagine who the fuck likes to play against DRAVEN. Literally nobody. That will cause enemies to play like monkeys, since they'll have no idea what to do. And on top of that, if they think you are just running it down, oh trust me, they will underestimate you, and they will 100% overstep their boundaries and die. And last but not least, it's just fun. Just enjoy the game a bit, for fuck's sake. It's really fun if you stop caring about winning and LP so much. Just let it be and enjoy some of this cursed game. Or at least you can make others suffer, that's also very fun. And now that you know how unhinged my picks are and there won't be any surprise, I'll just go for Gwen in my next video. Or not. Who the fuck knows? See you in 6 months, bye.